There's another one that's a little bit... Like, in spoken word, you're supposed to just do your own stuff, and that's the one rule, right? You do your own stuff. It doesn't have to be true or all the way true, right? Okay, because this is like sort of true, but not. Well, it's true, but then the people who die don't really die, or they did die, but they didn't die like that. If I can get to it, hold on a second. It's called Coin. This is the story I made up about my grandfather. One of them, anyway. He came over on the boat with his first wife in the hull of whatever ship. It must have been big enough that there were living quarters for however many days they traveled. Came over from Scotland, where his left-handed arm was tied behind his back in school for being of the devil, and other punishments were assigned for him speaking Gaelic in the schoolhouse. And later on in adulthood he was a merchant and made his fortune in some questionable business in China. And he came home to Lochinver, scooped up a 16-year-old Alexina, blonde as she was but never really grasping English, who herself was then named Jezebel for leaving off on her promise to Rory, scooped her up and whisked her off to Canada, pregnant and puking. And on being asked by a well-meaning English lady if she needed any help, and then asked belatedly, "Can you speak any English?" Alexina paused long enough between heave and snort to reply, "Sometimes." They were always well-meaning, those English ladies. And soon after arriving in Canada, Winnipeg most likely is where they were. Soon after they stepped off the train that had them dragged around corner after corner through the wilds of northern Ontario, all the world that was theirs in dollars and new possibility, or rare Chinese coins at least. All of it fell to pieces. I picture it like this. After weeks of being thrown about in the airless hull of some big metal tub that finally pulled into Montreal, and then days of side to side and cramped quarters in the endless identical nowhereness of rock and half-starved trees going by, the sudden openness of the prairies, the wide sky and the straightness of the track and the smooth gold of the wheat fields must have been such a relief. Here we are, or at last, is what I hear every fresh air starved passenger on the train saying, even the first classers. But the minute they stepped down at the station, the gold that lay out in the field turned dross, and the coins in my grandfather's suitcase were stones, and it was all a sad story from then on. With Alexina dying in childbirth and my grandfather sending the baby back to his sister's family in Scotland, and him having to cast about to make himself a living when he had already been a made man, rich enough that the real diamond on his now dead wife's engagement ring was encircled in real rubies. But he wouldn't take it off her and sell it to live on, not being overly sentimental, but being too proud of a man to go back on a lot he had already cast his coin on.